Hello again, Mr. F here. One more time with you. Wanted to talk with you about a couple more things. One thing in particular that we are seeing an issue with this year is students who are driving with a permit. All right. We are very happy for you to get your driver's license. I think some of us are maybe not so happy, but at the end of the day, it is against Georgia law for you to be driving with only a permit. You have to have a full license in order to come drive to school and park your car here. If you show up with just a permit, you will not be allowed to park here. If you do park here for some reason and you do make it in, then your car could potentially be towed. Now, we don't want to do those things, but we are trying our best to make sure that you are not breaking the law, and we are not going to support you in doing that. So please understand, if you only have a permit, do not drive your car to school and do not park it here. You will not be allowed to park here. Now, for those of you who do have a full license and you do come here to park, there are a couple things you need to make sure that you understand. Make sure that you are parking in your assigned parking space. You know Mr. Grillo is outside, you see him. If you have not purchased a permit and you're daily parking, make sure that you are paying him. If he's not out there, come to the front office and let someone know that you need to pay him, and they'll take down your name and possibly take your money, or you can come see him in the afternoon and give it to him. The other thing is make sure that you are on time. If you are consistently being late, that means being tardy to school 6 or more times, we can potentially revoke your parking pass for a specific number of days. We can work through all those things. There are several consequences with an office referral as well, being one of those as well. So please be on time. We're asking you to be on time. Sometimes things happen. That's why you have that grace room with 6 tardies. But please be on time to school and you won't have to worry about those particular issues, okay? A few more things. These are pretty much level 2 and level 3 offenses that we're going to talk about. These are violations that could end up putting you in the way of a disciplinary hearing. The first one we're going to talk about, inappropriate contact between students, any type of horseplaying or inappropriate touching, pushing, any of those types of things. Now, this is a level 1 with ISS, but typically what ends up happening with this horseplaying, somebody gets frustrated, they don't like being pushed in front of their friends, and then it turns into a physical altercation. When that physical altercation happens, then that ends up being OSS potentially and possibly going into a hearing. Now, that physical altercation, if it involves 2 or more people, if it's a planned altercation, all those types of things, that goes straight to a hearing. So what we're asking you guys to do is understand this is not the appropriate place for you to put your hands on anybody. No matter what, your best friend, you might want to go up and push him in the back and think that that's funny. Well, if your friend's having a bad day and you push him in the back in front of the girl he's trying to impress or whatnot, he gets upset and then you guys start pushing and you get into a yelling match, you start cussing each other out. That's called a verbal altercation, okay? Again, that's a level 2 verbal abuse, and you will have OSS, and there could be a potential hearing if it leads into a physical altercation. So please, we're trying to help you guys understand when you're here at school, if there's an issue, come see a counselor, come see an administrator, come see one of your teachers that you trust, work with us. We will help you solve that problem. Please don't take those matters into your own hands while you're here. A couple more things, vape pens and devices. Guys, if you haven't seen the research, vaping is bad for you. It is really, really bad for you. It is a level 2, and you will be suspended out of school for 5 days if you're caught with any type of vaping devices or if you're caught vaping. Of course, we have lots of cameras and we've got lots of students, and they're not afraid to let us know when somebody's doing those types of things. So please understand, if you're caught in possession, it doesn't matter if it's yours or not. If you're caught in possession with a vaping device, or if you're seen vaping on camera, you will be suspended out of school suspension for up to 5 days. Tobacco products are also a part of this, even though they are a level 1. Tobacco products, meaning lighters, cigarettes, cigarillos, all those types of tobacco products are included. Those will have ISS time that come with that. So please, again, do not bring those types of things here to school. We want you to come here. We want you to be safe. We want you to have a learning environment that's going to allow you to be successful in all that you do. And those things are all things that will hinder that piece. The last thing I want to mention to you is any types of drugs or being under the influence of any type of drug, including marijuana. Please understand, if you bring that to school, there is a high probability that you will be sent to a disciplinary hearing. If you have drugs on you or under the influence of any type of drug, including marijuana, you can go be subject to a disciplinary hearing. So if there's a need for some type of prescription medication, please have your parents call in to the front office and speak to Ms. Wilhelm or Ms. Fan in the attendance office, and they'll work with you to make sure that you can take that the way it's supposed to be taken. Otherwise, you are not to have any of that on you or be under the influence of that.
Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well today. My name is Ms. McCormick-Floyd. I am your assistant principal for curriculum and instruction. And I wanted to talk to you briefly about the new IF period that we have going on. IF period is designed so that you as a student have an opportunity to meet with teachers that you might not be able to see for extra help or checking out what your makeup work is, possibly even getting some stuff turned in, maybe working ahead, finding out club activities. There are so many ways that we can use IF. And so basically what we're doing is we're keeping IF as your third period unless a teacher requests for you to go somewhere else. So we've designated specific days for you to use IF. And the teachers right now are requesting students through me, and I'm scheduling you. So if you need to see your teacher, you need to talk to your teacher so that you can get scheduled. On Monday, we are doing non-core classes. That's going to be all of your CTAE, your foreign language, your fine arts, and your health PE classes, as well as some teachers will be requesting students on that day to collect some data. Tuesday is going to be specifically for science, where your science teachers will request for you to go to them. Wednesday will be math. Thursday is going to be English, and Friday is going to be social studies. So if you have a need to see your teacher right now, you'll need to talk to your teachers about getting yourself scheduled in their classes. We are going to start moving students on January 24th. That's a Monday. And basically, if you are not being requested, you need to stay in your third period. But if you are being requested, you've got a 2-minute window to get to your location. Students who are being requested are going to be put on a roster for attendance. So if you are requested to go somewhere and then you end up not making it there, you will be marked absent, and that could be a problem for you in terms of not being where you need to be. And so it's really important for you to make sure that if there's somewhere that you need to go, your teacher should tell you in advance. You will see it on your Infinite Campus on your actual schedule. You'll see that during that IF slot. And some of you have already been scheduled, and so you can check that out on your phone or on your laptop. Either one, find your Infinite Campus schedule and find that. So we're really hoping that this is going to be a good time for everybody to get some additional help and do some makeup work, maybe work ahead, maybe talk about projects for a club, that kind of thing. And so we're anticipating some really cool stuff. So we just really need for you to be honest and motivated to get to where you need to be on time. Okay, that's it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.
Students, we want to thank you all for your attention. We are not concluded yet, but I do want to go over just a few things that we may have skimmed over in the handbook. We went over it first semester. However, second semester, we really want to highlight those things that infractions that we saw the most of, but there are some other infractions that were not listed on this video. However, it is in the school handbook or the district handbook. This is located on the website, on the district website. So even though you didn't receive a physical copy, it is on the district website. You are still responsible for this information, and parents, if you're watching, please go and view that on that so you can get everything in detail, and it goes over all the level offenses. We have level 1 all the way to level 4, and it tells you what those consequences are when you are in violation of those. I did want to talk about a level 1 offense for if you have been assigned in-school suspension. Now, in-school suspension is already a consequence, and if you cannot comply with the rules of in-school suspension, your only other result is out-of-school suspension, okay? So please understand that you can be assigned out-of-school suspension even though you were initially assigned in-school suspension. So if you go to the in-school suspension room, you refuse to give up your phone, you refuse to put away the blanket, you come dressed inappropriately, you can still be sent home for that. So please understand that is in the handbook. In addition, Henry County is a zero tolerance for bullying, okay? Bullying is considered in the handbook. It just basically states that if you believe that someone is being bullied, you need to report that to the staff member. So if you or someone you know is being bullied, please report that to a counselor, a teacher, a social worker, or one of the administrators, okay? Because we have a zero tolerance for bullying. Another thing that we did not address, but however it is very important, vandalism, okay? This is not your property. You should not be writing or drawing or marking on anything here at school or damaging any property. That even includes your Chromebooks, okay? You should not be destroying your Chromebooks. That is a violation and you can have an offense for that. Sexual misconduct. I should not have to address this, but please keep your hands to yourself. We've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but that can also be sexual harassment, which means that there will be a Title IX investigation on you for touching someone inappropriately, unwanted, okay? But you shouldn't be touching anybody, period. But if you do, please understand that that can put you in a situation where you can go to a disciplinary hearing and have a Title IX investigation. 7 or more level ones. We're at a point now where halfway in between the end of the school year. So some of you have already accumulated some referrals. Please understand that if you have 7 or more level 1 offenses, so those minor offenses such as skipping, being insubordinate, bus conduct, bullying, whatever, you get 7 of those, you're at a point where you can go to a disciplinary hearing, and that will place you at the alternative school, which is Excel Academy. Mr. F talked about drugs, which you should not bring to school, and hopefully you don't do that as well. But also alcohol. Please don't bring any alcohol. Don't mix any, put any mixed drinks. Don't come and bring and give it to anybody. Don't accept anything from anybody if you don't know what it is. So you saying that I didn't know it had alcohol in it, or I didn't know that that was marijuana, that does not get you off the hook, because anytime you're in possession is just me holding this pencil right here. I'm possessing this pencil. So if you possess it, you are then in violation of the handbook. So whether or not you knew what it was, you tasted it, or you consumed it or whatnot, you are still in violation. So please understand that. Terroristic threats. Telling someone that you're going to fight them, slap them, kick them, punch them, kill them, shoot them, all of those are terroristic threats, and they will be handled as such. And that's a level 3 offense. So the only result we can do is a disciplinary hearing for that. You don't get to just go out of school suspension for that. That is a disciplinary hearing, because you should not be telling someone that you're going to do something to harm them. And if they believe that you're going to harm them, or an administrator interprets that as a terroristic threat, you can be sent to a disciplinary hearing for that. Also, if you have 2 or more level 2 offenses, okay? I'm not going to go through all the level 2 offenses, but again, it's in the handbook. Go through, see what those level 2 offenses are. If you have more than one of those, you can then go to a hearing and be sent to the alternative school, okay? The level 4 offenses, hopefully we won't see any of those, but they are in the handbook for you to reference parents as well as students. So again, if you need any assistance, definitely reach out to any of us, and we want you all to have a
wonderful Wolfpack year.